The only boundary between your mastery and your dream, beloved, is yourself. That prefabricated cage that you have been accumulating throughout since you were born. Accumulation, conditioning, your personality, all of this that is not you. So Jesus Christ said, me and my Father are one, but even more powerful statement he made is what I have done, you can do much more. And Gautama the Buddha said, within you have a whole world, and it's just a matter of discovering what it is and give completely your heart to it. So manifesting what you desire, what you want, you dream, you got to first get rid of this boundary of what you have created through your karma, with your vasana, your samskara. We have talked about that in other video, and we go in depth in Becoming the Light Inner Journey Mastery Program, because it's that important. Because if you have some impression, karmic impression, that you are worthless, you're no good, you cannot be successful, sometimes, often is unconscious. If it's there in your subtle body and your physical body, and it became also a vasana, an impression, a tendency, it's like by default, it will be very hard to create and manifest what you want. First, you got to really get rid of a lot of those impressions and those tendencies, to clear the plate, so to speak, especially if you grew up in a dysfunctional family, and if you have low self-esteem, for example, or a self-image that is not very positive, that you feel like either consciously or unconsciously that you aren't worth it of success. And that's what Devi Ma, I've seen a lot, what's happening. Why can you manifest? Why are your dreams not coming true? That's a question you need to address. And there's certain nutrients we're going to discuss. But before we go about that, let's talk about being a divine alchemist. What is being a divine alchemist? To also be a kalpa viksha, and one that is well established in its mind. And to be well established in your mind is to use your magical wand mindfully, consciously, with focus. And those are the three main secret ingredient that most people don't use. They know a certain technique how to manifest, and yet they don't do it consciously, they don't do it focused, and they don't do it mindfully. Because those three elements are incredibly important. So divine alchemists, let's look at that. Your volition. Your volition start with your volition. You have to have strong volition. And then your thoughts. Your thoughts, remember, your energy coming from your thoughts, because thoughts are energy. And it's not like if you think it one time, it's sufficient. It's not how the mind, a well-established mind, works. It takes time with a lot of reinforcement to really project into the universe really what you want to manifest. So it has to be a constant repetition of how you go about it with complete surrender and faith and trust. And if you haven't watched yet the video on attuning yourself with phenomenal divine grace, you see, go watch it, because having that as a tool is extremely important. Because a mind that is not well established will always doubt itself, will always allow their samskara to lead the way. If you have a wounded inner child inside also that is preventing you from succeeding in what you want. Also, so the divine alchemist, you know that you are the magical one, and with your thoughts and your words, what Devi Ma means here is incantation, affirmation. You say it out loud, so you change your samskar, those impressions. And you watch also mindfully and consciously, what do you say on a daily moment? Because if you're reinforcing your intention and what you want to achieve with negativity and you're not aware of it, then it's like planting a seed and always going back and looking, is it growing? And then suddenly you look and you put your finger in it and you look and you're kind of destroying the whole process. Talking about process also, be a kalpa vriksha, well established with your thoughts, your volition, your words, and your action. Your action to manifest what you want with this tremendous focus and this concentration and complete surrender to faith and trust that you have the ability and grace is flowing into your life to manifest what you really, really want. But be careful, beloved, what you really want is constantly changing, right? Especially if you're on the spiritual path, it will change rapidly because as you evolve, as you grow, your intention will change and your dream will change. It's inevitable. It's all going to change. It would not be normal if it doesn't change. Yeah, what you wanted when you were 16 years old to drive, let's say, a certain type of car, or maybe you dream of becoming an athlete, like a very successful athlete. Today, 10 years later, might be completely different. And it has to serve the highest good of your spiritual unfoldment and serve the highest good of all living beings. And so ask yourself those questions. What is it that I am not applying with my magical wand to really succeed in what are my dreams? Are my dreams realistic? If your dream is to want $1 billion today, right in this moment, it's a little unrealistic. You have to be clear about your want. And when you bring the element of mindfulness, focus, and enjoy the ride, it's not the destination, it is the ride, the process of attaining what you want. And often it's a great blessing if you don't get what you want. I have seen that in my own life and my own entourage, because if the timing is not divine, I call it the divine timing, you might get something and it's not going to serve your higher purpose. It's not going to serve you at every level, because it might be actually you get what you want, but it turned out to be a disaster in your life. Because if you're not ready, how can you be fulfilled into achieving your dream? So divine timing is extremely important, to be visualizing also the power of imagination. So if you combine using your magical wand with incredible focus, a well-established mind. So beloved, be willing to be detached from your dream. And that's what I meant to say earlier, that because of your dream are constantly changing, what you want now and 5 years from now could be very different. Not always. It depends on your evolution, depending on your maturity. It depends on different factor, but most likely certain dreams won't manifest. And it can be the greatest blessing because it's just not divine timing. Or the benefit of it, if you pursue it, you're trying to manifest and it's not coming. You will realize, like, if you look back 5 years later and what you wanted, it was not achieved, but you got rid of the samskar, of that impression, of that tendency. You worked it out. You worked out your karma. Meaning, let's say you wanted to become a car racer, just for example, or a ballerina for a lady. And then you look back 5 years later, it was not what you want to do anymore, but you had that intense desire and the wish of making it happen, and you were really focused in wanting to create that. But maybe you were not conscious and mindful. But the point of this is, whatever it is, or you wanted to become an actor, or you wanted to travel somewhere, it didn't manifest, but most likely with profession, purpose of life, often you see that. And so it's actually a blessing because you worked it out of your system. You wanted to be a singer and you work at it, but yet you didn't do it mindfully, unconsciously. But you got rid of the samskar because 5 years later you realize, you're completely out of it. You have no desire of singing anymore. And you even wonder in the first place, where was that a dream? You have to trust the inner guidance, the inner knowing within you that the real dream will be revealed to you. And so don't be attached to your dream. Release yourself from expectation, because often the Divine Mother has a surprise for you. Why would you limit yourself into certain dream?